Probably some of the best times of my life were in the 90s. And now we're going to talk about how great they can be on your face. Yes, 90s trends are back, and we are here to show you how to use them well. The 90s are back. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different trends that we are going to be focusing on, and I'm super excited about it because I had a very good time in the 90s. I don't know about you, I do know about me, and it was a good time. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, because some of these trends that are coming back are really, really, really fun, and they're the good ones. They're not the weird ones, even though blue eyeshadow is on its way back, but we're not going to talk about that one today. We are, however, going to just jump right into this. We have this brand new tinted primer, and I'm going to use this and not any foundation on top, and you'll see what this can do to your beautiful, beautiful face. So I'm just going to add this to my brush, and I just did a little dollop, and I'm just going to add it, and you can see, like, it's amazing what that does. And then I like to top it off with a little bit of powder. I'm going to keep adding this while I'm talking to you though. I like to top it off with a little powder. And this just fills in everything it needs to. It just gives a really, really nice, small coverage. It's such a natural look. It's wonderful. And I do dap it over my eyelids a little bit. But it takes out the red. And that tint is just enough. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this summer, that's all I did, was wear the tint. I very, very rarely wore any foundation because it has such a nice, light feel to it. And it holds color on top of it really, really nicely, which I'm gonna show you right now with this powder. Now this powder, you can see that the primer just takes to it and mats it out absolutely perfect. It's very, very nice, light, easy to use combination. And like I said, this summer it's been a fave. And now that we're going into fall, yeah, I think I'll probably be doing this every once in a while. And there you go. Just a nice, even, beautiful finish. Now, after I have that on, I'm gonna go right into our cheeks. I'm gonna start with our angled brush for this beautiful color of blush. It's like, it's sun-kissed. Oh wait, that's the name of it. Lucky us. And I just do a sweeping motion across this cheekbone and up. Now, it's got a little bit of a gold shimmer in it, which is super nice, particularly for our 90s kind of throwback feel. They have this sort of glowy, dewy, lovely, yummy, sun-kissed deliciousness happening. And you can see, like, that just rosy up my cheeks just like that. Now I'm gonna move to, now that I have my foundation-ish on and my blush, I'm actually gonna move to my eyebrows. Now the sculpted eyebrow for the 90s was like the thing. And a lot of people would pencil it in and then put powder over the top, but brows are a big thing. If you look at Brooke Shields' eyebrows, they were like the Mecca. Everybody wanted their eyebrows to look like that. So incredibly gorgeous. Now, I do not have a brick brow yet, but let's work on it. So you want to do an upward brushing motion, and she had hers were so filled, like everyone was jealous of it because they were so beautiful and so large. And if you were anywhere in the 90s, you would have seen them and known exactly what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to go ahead and dap some of my brush into this pot of brow powder, but I'm also gonna tap it on my wrist so that I get some of the flyaways will go away and then it doesn't smear so much. We don't want to smear yet. And then I'm just gonna do an upward quick motion, and this upward motion just helps those brows to fill in and look fuller. I'm gonna do the one side first fully so that you can see. And now we want to have a point here because they had a point. It was a little bit on the outer side. It wasn't on the inside at this point in the 90s. And this trend is back big. Brows are such an important part of our makeup right now, it seems like. And if we get a little too full, now as you can see, just brush, brush, sculpt, sculpt, make that just gorgeous. This is where your brow gel is going to come in handy at the end of this. But you fill in all the blanks, so to speak. But you do not leave those brows teeny tiny. You fill them in nice and big. Now, I'm not Brooke yet. Okay, I'll never be. I'll just be me, but that's fine. But Brooke, look what I did. It looks so great. I think it's really fun and quite a big difference that you can see. Because big brows, big difference. That's what we're about. Okay, I'm going to go... Actually, I want to add just a little more depth and color on this side. You know, if you can, why not? Just do it. Just go for it. Okay, I'm going to finish up my brows and I'll get right back to you. So I want you to take a look at this Brooke Shields picture, which has been sort of my inspiration for this whole look. She's so gorgeous. But do you see those brows, how nice and big and bushy they are? They're really, really fun. And that was a big, big trend in the 90s. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this with some brow set, which is going to be pretty important to keep it where it should be rather than falling and flaking out. That's why I do the little dap dap, so we don't have, because we are putting so much product on, we want to make sure that it doesn't have any fallout. And this product right here just really sculpts and makes it absolutely perfect. Really adds that extra touch and it keeps it there. It's a setting powder. It's not powder. It's a brow setter, so it just keeps those brows right where they should be. Before I get started on my lovely eyeshadow, which I really can't wait to jump into, I am going to use the eye primer. And I just use my finger. I find that this is the best way to apply it. It keeps it warm and more pliable. And you can see the difference there. I like it. I think it's awesome. It's one of my favorite products we have. And then I get the other side. Now, a little trick I like to use is to stick it in these corners, just right here. It's almost as a concealer. And then I don't need so much concealer, but it helps to just take out all that purple. Okay, now back to the shadow. I'm gonna use this light color right here, get it all over my brush, and then I'm gonna apply it to my newly primed eyes. And you can see that primer makes it stay so wonderfully. I love it. So good. Okay, now this is a matte that I'm using. The 90s were into shimmers and glimmers, so let's go there really quick. And I'm gonna use this one. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the second lightest color and I'm gonna go up here on my brow bone, which is where they put it, and really blend that nicely in here. Nice brow bone. And this has a nice little gold shimmer to it, which is going to pull what is in my blush, which is kind of a pink and it has that little bit of gold touch in it. It's not going to match it, but it's going to definitely connect them. Now we're just going to go for the dark color. And I'm going to use this. So this is an angled brush. It's pretty great. It's going to put a lot of color on. You'll see. I'm going to start in the middle and work my way up. And I'm not going to be afraid of this color. It's really pretty. And I'm just putting it between my bottom lid and that brow bone and just kind of working its way in. From the middle of the eye, working my way up to that brow bone. Really getting that color nicely everywhere. Now they really did a smoky eye, which is sort of what the look this is. It's not a true current day smoky eye. This is definitely a 90s smoky eye, which has a few other little things in it, but a tap, tap, tap is a good thing to do. I'm gonna pull in this color. I'm gonna go into this brown color with this smaller brush, really bring this into here, making that a little more deep. And blending out some of this here. I think these two colors are so pretty. Wow. Really adding a lot. Now I'm going to go back in again with a little bit of this darker color, this darker purple color, and just highlight in here and bring it down. Sometimes people are a little afraid to use purple because they're afraid that it's going to pull out tones that you don't want. That's one of the reasons I mix it with this brown color. But also, purple's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous color. It really can bring out brown eyes and green eyes. And if you do it correctly, so it's not just like, ah, she's got purple on. It really can accentuate the color of your eyes and your shape depending on how you put it on. I have a hooded eye, so I like to bring some color right underneath that hood or blend up above it just a bit so that when I do open my eyes, it doesn't look like my eyes are closing in. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of more eyeshadow in just a second after I've put on the eyeliner. Now, this eyeliner is Sienna, and I'm gonna get it pretty warm because we're gonna smudgy it up a little bit. And this I'm just gonna take right along the lid, and I'm not gonna be too careful. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, doesn't have to be perfect. Now, the 90s really did rock it hard by bringing that line down underneath. We're gonna do that just a little bit with the shadow, but we're not gonna do it a ton with the actual pencil because that really does close in your eye. It's like one of the 90s trends I don't want to come back. But again, I don't have to be careful. And it's nice and dark. And then I'm just gonna go back in with my flat chisel pencil, or not pencil, brush. And I'm gonna get this little more shadow on it. Then I'm just gonna drag it along there. And it gives a nice little smoky. The color picks up right there on that liner. And then I'm gonna take it a little bit more and just down here, just a touch. Just to have a continuation of that color a little bit. Now you can go really hardcore with this. So many people did in the 90s and just go really dark with your colors. A dark lipstick is what we're gonna do to finish this look off, which was something that they did. They did dark eyes or very blue eyes or really bright purple, and then they would put on a really deep, deep lipstick. I think there was one called Vixen that almost looked black. Had a slight purple undertone to it. But there you go. I think that's it for the eyes. Sorry, my bangs are crazy, but my makeup's gorgeous. I almost forgot mascara. Let's put mascara on because that will really finish up this eye look. So I'm going to curl my eyelashes first, and then I'm going to put a primer on, and then I'm going to put the mascara on. Ta-da! Mascara is finished. All right, now we're going to move right on to the lips. I'm very excited about that because it's going to be a little bit darker than how I normally go. We're going to start with a primer. Now, primer is important for this one because it will help this dark color stay on like it should. I'm into primer these days because, man, who wants to do their makeup all day? I want to do it once and then walk away and not think about it and be amazing all day long. Come home, take off my makeup, but before I take off my makeup, I want to say, I'm amazing. Thanks, primer. And that's what I do. So thanks to the primers of the world. We're going to add this to the lips and get them all primed and ready. Lock in that moisture. And then go for my liner. Now this one is Honey Bun, and I am gonna just take this liner just outside my lip a touch, not much. They were into big, full, bold lips, kind of right like we are right now. And so not inside, but not totally outside. Now, we're not going to do a Pamela Anderson where she did the dark color on the outside and the light color on the inside. That lasted for 5.6 seconds. Some people really took hard to that, though. If you're still doing that, I would suggest moving away from it a little bit and getting your liner and your lip color to be more monochromatic. As I've aged a little bit, my lip line has disappeared. So liner is a really great way to reappear it, which we love. Now I blend that together a little bit. Really warm it up. Now I'm ready for my lipstick, and I'm gonna go as dark as this baby will take me. This is Vienna, and it is, it was really smooth. Way to go, Vienna. And it really blends quite nicely with the honey bun. Now, this is pretty dark, and matte was a thing for sure, but if you weren't doing matte, you were doing gloss. Now, I like the drippy gloss, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some gloss on this, but you could stop right here and be stunning. Or you could go one more step and put the gloss on and have that extra, look at my lips look. It was a glossy look. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna put my bangs where they should be. I'm gonna tousle my hair like the 90s, be a little bit of a rock star. Voila, what do you think? I think it's great that the 90s are back in all the good ways. Some of the 90s can stay in the 90s, but the good stuff, let's bring it here because it's awesome. Don't forget your 90s, remember them. Put them on your face. I've created another collection that's in the store as well right now with a light eye and a bold lip look that I think you're really gonna love. So make sure you check that one out too. You can wear these trends with confidence this season. Check out the 90s. They're a good time. Like I said, it's fun.